Alright, so this video is going to be how to contour and highlight with powder. I typically don't do extreme contour and highlighting every day because I just feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup when I have the different layers of concealers on to highlight and contour my face. But I do highlight and contour every single day, but I use it with powder. I just think it gives it a little bit of a softer look. It's easier to do if you don't want to do the whole shebang every day. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So I do have my foundation on. I am wearing, of course, my MAC Studio Fix NC25. That's my color. So now I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour without liquids or anything crazy like that. So I guess to make it a little bit quicker, first I'm going to show you what I use to actually do it. And then I'll go ahead and do it. If you watched my extreme highlight contour video, I used the Ben Nye powder in Cameo to set underneath my eyes, my concealer. I still use this over my foundation just because it still does brighten it around my eyes, even though I don't have the really bright highlight around my eyes. So I still use this to set it anyway. This color is really good if you have fair skin like I do. So that's what I would use around my eyes just to set my concealer, so that way whatever brightening powder I use on top of that doesn't go in between the fine lines like around this area right here. So that's the first step of the thing that I do. Next, what I do is I set my foundation everywhere, and I use another foundation. But this one's really lightweight, so I use this guy right here. This is a MAC Mineralized Loose Powder. This is a foundation, but it's really, really light. This shade is Medium Plus, so you could set your foundation with that. There's obviously a ton of different things you could do. The other day, used a Studio Fix powder to set my foundation, and I had like total mannequin skin. It was full coverage. It looked nice, but it was very heavy. So, I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I'll do this today because why not? Okay, so then to do like the sculpting of my face, I made this palette at MAC for myself. I want to say 3 years ago. So I went to the MAC Pro store in San Francisco, and I had one of the girls help me out to build like my dream palette. But this color right here is perfect for me, and this is called Sculpt. This is by MAC also, obviously. I think this is a pro color, but I bought it online. So you can buy pro colors online, and now I have 2 MAC Pro stores within 20 minutes of me. So super dangerous. But yeah, this one's called Sculpt. Love this color. Obviously, all these shades up here are matte. Whatever contour color you're going to use, you want to make sure it is matte. So not shiny, not shimmery, not satin, nothing. You want it to be matte. You don't want it to stand out or reflect the light at all. So make sure you're getting a matte shade for your contour color. And then this color in the middle is emphasized by MAC. I don't think this is a pro color. I think it's a regular color, so you could probably get it in any MAC store. But this is like my little palette that I made a few years ago. I take it with me everywhere. Obsessed, so that's what I use. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I am going to first set underneath my eyes my Ben Nye powder. Like I said, you can buy this online. And I just tap a little bit of it into its lid. Then I just kind of swirl it, and I am using just a synthetic fluffy brush. And you can see there's quite a bit on here. It's okay, because this stuff is not like foundation, so it's not gonna go on really heavy. And then I just kind of pack it on underneath my eye area where I would highlight. Okay, so I put it underneath my eyes, and I kind of built these triangle shapes right here to go down and then to come straight back up right here. So this is the area I want to highlight. And it is going to go straight back like this, because if you do it this way, it's going to make your eyes kind of look droopier. But if you bring your highlight up closer towards your temples, it's gonna help to like draw everything back and give you that, like, you know, fabulous, I just got Botox look. So next what I want to do is set all of my foundation. So I already showed you the powders that you could use. You can use pretty much any powder you want. Today, because I'm making a video, I'm gonna use MAC Studio Fix, which is crazy, I know. And I'm using shade C3. Anyway, so I'm using this huge fluffy brush. So I'm just going to like tap, just get some on the brush, and then dust it everywhere that I didn't put the Ben Nye powder. If you have oily skin, I don't know if this is a good idea to do both of these. Now what I'm going to do is, I kind of have like really boring flat looking face right now. As you can tell, there's like no contour, no definition, no nothing going on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and add my contour color. I think the fluffier, when you're using an angled brush, the better, because you don't want something too small and too dense, because then you'll get like a really straight line. And the whole purpose of contouring is not to make it stand out, not for people to be like, your face is contoured. It's supposed to look natural, so don't go overboard with it. Okay, so now it's time to step it up and look not so basic anymore. I'm going to use the fluffy angled brush I just talked about, and then this color right here, which is Sculpt by MAC. And I'm just gonna like dump my brush in there. It doesn't put a ton on there, so you don't have to get too crazy with it. And you can kind of see there's like a little like line right here. So here's my cheekbone right there. And then I'm just gonna go right underneath my cheekbone, and you can feel it, and you're gonna go right under it to where it's like the hollow part of your cheek. And then you're just going to like trace a soft line right here. Okay, so now you can see I kind of buffed it in a little bit. It's nothing crazy, but you can definitely tell the difference from here and here, where it's all like flat and boring. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the other side. Okay, so I guess when I do that, I make this face. So I think that helps maybe. Yeah. So you can help to draw the line better when you do that. I didn't know that, just learned that, cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do just around my forehead. And the purpose of the forehead, I mean, if you have a really large forehead or you don't like the shape of your forehead, you can contour it to make it look a little bit smaller or a little bit softer, whatever you wanna do. I just do it to make me look a little bit bronzier. So I kinda do it where the sun should hit. And I use the same brush. You don't have to use the same brush, but I do. You could use something a little bit smaller and a little bit rounder. But then I just come in and then I just lightly buff around here like this. I'm not doing anything like extra special. You could use a bronzer for that area, but I would definitely recommend not using a bronzer to contour. Bronzers are typically a little bit more warm and a little bit shimmery sometimes. So now you can see you have a little bit more definition. It looks a little bit better, I think. Yeah. If you want to contour your nose, you can. You don't have to. It just helps to make it look a little bit thinner, a little bit more ski slopey, or whatever you want it to look like. So I'm going to use this brush right here. You can use any like dome brush. I wouldn't use anything too dense because you don't want it to be too strong of a line. This brush doesn't have a name on it, I'm sorry. It's from Crown Brush. It's just like a really basic like tapered blending brush. So I'm gonna dip this just really lightly into my Sculpt color from MAC right here. This one. And I don't want anything too crazy coming off on the brush, so. And then I'm just going to start at the bottom and shade upward and kind of buff it out onto the side of my nose. So if you feel like your nose is too wide and you want it to look thinner, you're going to want to bring the lines closer together on the top of your nose. You want to make sure you have a really soft hand while you're doing this. I'm pretty much done with the contouring now. You can see a difference when I turn my head side to side. My cheekbones stand out a little bit more. So now I'm gonna jump into the highlight, and I'm gonna use this brush right here. This is a brush from Bare Essentials. This is called Tapered Blush. So now I'm going to take this MAC Emphasized color right here. If you want something a little bit softer, I would recommend using this one, Accentuate, but we're all about doing more dramatic things on screen, so I'm dipping it into the white one, and I have it right here. So now I'm just going to start right here and kind of dust it back. And you can see how it's already making it stand out more. So in between those two areas right here is where you're going to put your blush. So, I mean, it's okay if the highlight does overlap a little bit, but essentially I am going to be putting my blush right in between there. I do not put blush on the apples of my cheeks. No, thank you. Okay, so my absolute favorite finish to add to my cheeks, if you're ever wondering, it is MAC Soft and Gentle. This stuff is insane. It's gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and use that same brush and add it right here. You can see it's just like really, really fine, and it's not gold, but it's not silver. It's everything in between, and I could literally like bathe my face in it and I would be okay with that. So you can see the difference between right there and that side, just the glow that it adds to your skin. So this definitely makes me feel like more J-Lo fabulous. Okay, so I put on my highlight and I forgot to put on my blush. Normally I put on my blush before my highlight. Today for my blush, I'm going to use Nars, and this one is called Sin. So the blush I'm going to apply right under the highlight, but on top of the contour. And I already put on the Soft and Gentle, but normally I wouldn't do that. So I'm just kind of like using the blush to like blend it all together. Okay, so I kind of put like a lot of blush on that side, but oh well. Anyway, so I have my blush on, I have my highlight on. Now what I like to do is just throw on kind of a matte powder over areas that I don't want to shine throughout the day. My favorite mattifying powder is going to be this one from Hard Candy. Yes, I do love Hard Candy products. So I just like dust a dual fiber brush and I put it here, down my nose, on the sides of my nose because I will get oily right there and I don't want to. And then right around here. And this is sheer, it's not white, it's sheer, so you don't have to worry about that. If my face doesn't look wet enough for you right now, I love to throw on some MAC Fix Plus. You gotta make sure you get your hair out of your face though, and that you don't get it on like your nose and stuff like that, so just spray it. Yeah, so then it'll dry, but now that I've choked on my own Fix Plus, I'm done with my highlight and contouring with powder. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you like and subscribe so that way you can see the rest of the videos that I have coming out in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching.